Okay, so for today, we will be having the post-laboratory discussion on staphylococci and micrococci. Okay, so just a brief overview regarding staphylococci. So take note that staphylococci appear as gram-positive cocci. So again, pag sinabi natin gram-positive, so these appear as purple, no, purple under the microscope. And when you say cocci, so these appear as round, no, or spherical in shape. Okay, so now, since we are talking about gram-positive cocci, okay, so another characteristic is usually, no, they are catalase producing and coagulase positive. Okay, so staphylococci came from the Greek word staphyle or staphyle, meaning bunches of grapes. Because if you're going to look it under the microscope, so makikita natin, no, para silang mga grapes, no? They arrange as in grape-like clusters. Okay, since cocci, so bilog-bilog yan na color purple. Okay, so now, they are non-motile, non-spore forming, and they are considered as aerobic or facultative anaerobic except for Staphylococcus aureus, subspecies Anaerobius, and Staphylococcus saccharopliticus. So these two appear as obligate anaerobes and they are catalase negative. Okay, so now colonies, no, on the surface of culture media usually appear as medium size. Okay, usually they appear as cream colored. Some appear as white. Yung iba naman is gold. And they are described, no, as buttery looking. Okay? And some species are beta hemolytic. So meaning, no, on the surface of blood agar plates, so they have a clear zone of hemolysis. Okay? So we have here, no, the different examples of coagulase negative staphylococci. So they differs, no, as to their novobiocin susceptibility. Okay, so for novobiocin susceptible, so we have Staphylococcus epidermidis, capitis, hemolyticus, hominis, no, subspecies hominis, lugdunensis, saccharolyticus, and warneri. For the coagulase negative, novobiocin resistant group, so we have Staphylococcus coni, glauci, Saprophyticus, and the Psilocybe. Okay, so now, sometimes Staphylococci can be resemble micrococci, but they differ so with the following characteristic. So both of them are catalase positive. Okay, so both of them are gram-positive cocci. Okay, so nagkakaiba lang sila, no, by their coagulase testing as well as in oxidase testing. Okay, so usually micrococci can be found in the environment as the members of the indigenous skin microbiota. And some micrococci have a tendency to produce a yellow pigment. Okay, so other gram-positive cocci that occasionally recovered with staphylococci, so we have Rhotia mucilaginosa, Aerococcus, and Aloeococcus otitis. So si Aloeococcus otitis, so usually, no, they are recovered from human middle ear fluid. Okay, so yan yung mga na-isolate natin. Okay, so now let's talk on the different significant species, no, under Staphylococcus. So number one, okay, we have Staphylococcus aureus. So this is the most clinically significant species, and they are responsible for numerous infections ranging from mild and up to life-threatening infections. Okay, and this is an important cause of nosocomial infection. We also have the Staphylococcus epidermidis. So this is the predominantly hospital acquired. And this is associated, no, with prosthetic valve endocarditis. we have Staphylococcus saprophyticus, which is associated in UTI, usually no for young women. Okay, and we have the Staphylococcus lugdunensis. Okay, so it can be community acquired or a hospital acquired infection. Okay, so this is known to contain the MECA gene. Okay. And then the other coagulase negative staphylococci. So we have the Staphylococcus warneri, capitis, simulans, hominis, and the Schleicheri. Okay? So our focus for today is the laboratory diagnosis. Okay? So now, number one, we have the specimen collection and handling. So remember, no, for Staphylococcus, so wala naman tayong mga special considerations that are required for specimen collection and transport. Okay? So usually, we're going to get the specimen from the site of infection after cleansing, no, of the surrounding area. So once we already collected the specimen, we're going to look it under the microscope. And as we can see, no, they will appear as gram-positive cells, no, gram-positive cocci. Okay, so remember, gram stains of this organism should be performed in young cultures. Okay, because yung mga very old cells, usually nawawala na yung ability nila to retain the crystal violet, and usually, no, they appear as gram variable or gram negative. Okay, so now after this, no, after the microscopic examination, so we have the isolation and identification. So papatubuin na natin sila into different culture media. Okay, so gumagamit tayo no, ng mga general culture media such as the sheep's blood agar. And sabi nga natin, usually Staphylococcus aureus, some of them appear as beta hemolytic. Okay, and then selective media can also be used to isolate the staphylococci. Okay, so we have the penyl ethyl alcohol agar or the Columbia nalidixic agar. So usually, ginagamit yan to eliminate the contamination by gram-negative organism, usually in heavily contaminated specimens such as yung stool, no, or feces. And then we have the mannitol salt agar. Okay, so remember, mannitol salt agar contains high concentration of salt. No, so this contains 10% salt. Then meron siyang sugar na mannitol. And for the pH indicator, so we have the phenol red. Okay, so now, always remember when we talk about Staphylococcus aureus, so they are always described, no, as a mannitol fermenter. And usually, if the organism appear as mannitol fermenter, usually, no, they develop a yellow colony on the culture media. So this is the result of the acid production. Okay, so nagkakaroon ng alteration of the pH. Okay, and then si chrome agar naman, ginagamit din yan, no, for the identification of methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus. Okay, so upon incubation, Staphylococcus appear as round, smooth, white, or creamy colonies, no, after 18 to 24 hours of incubation. Since sabi ko nga kanina, they can be grown on sheep's blood agar. Pwede rin tayong gumamit ng chocolate agars. Then, incubate natin yan at 35 degrees Celsius in carbon dioxide or ambient air. Usually within 24 hours of inoculation. So si MSA and then yung mga other selective culture media, sometimes they require at least 48 to 72 hours of incubation. Okay, para makita natin, no, yung growth. So this table, no, shows the summary of the appearance of the different Staphylococcus species grown on culture media. Okay, so remember when we talk about Staphylococcus aureus, so usually they have colonies surrounded by yellow halo on mannitol salt agar. And then when we talk about Staphylococcus aureus, so sometimes they appear as small, okay? They appear as non-hemolytic or non-pigmented colonies. But again, some of them appear as beta hemolytic. Staphylococcus epidermidis so usually produces small to medium size non-hemolytic gray to white colony. Okay, so sometimes it can be weakly hemolytic. Okay, so Staphylococcus saprophyticus, so they have large colonies. Okay, and then it also produces yellow pigment. Si Staphylococcus hemolyticus naman, so they have medium-sized colonies with moderate or weak hemolysis. Okay? And the colonies of Staphylococcus lugdunensis, usually they are hemolytic, medium-sized, and meron ding mga variants of small colonies. Okay? And then the other Staphylococcus species, so we have Staphylococcus coni. Okay, so sometimes medium to large. Okay. Staphylococcus simulans appear as large colonies, okay, with delayed to non-hemolytic pattern. Staphylococcus auricularis, so small to medium. Staphylococcus silosus, so large colonies. Sometimes they appear as non-hemolytic. Staphylococcus siburi, medium to large, and the Staphylococcus capri, small to medium. Okay, so next let's have the laboratory diagnosis. Okay, so the biochemical testing. Okay, so number one for the biochemical test, so we have the catalase test. Okay, so catalase test is used to differentiate catalase positive from catalase negative organism. Okay, so here, what are we going to do is we're going to detect the enzyme catalase. So the enzyme catalase is capable of converting hydrogen peroxide to water and oxygen. Okay, so kapag na-convert si hydrogen peroxide to water and oxygen, so they will able to produce bubbles. Okay, so the reagent used in this test is 3% or 30% hydrogen peroxide. Okay, so 3% or 30% hydrogen peroxide. Okay, so what are we going to do, no? So meron tayong slide. So we have the glass slide. So we're going to put the label here. Okay, and then with the use of applicator stick, kukuha lang tayo ng organism from our culture media. Then we're going to place it on the center of the glass slide. So after that, we're going to add 1 drop of hydrogen peroxide. Okay, so upon the addition of hydrogen peroxide, so you will able to observe formation of bubbles. Okay, so positive result, so there is a bubble formation. Negative result is no bubble formation. Okay, so bubble formation or effervescence. Okay, bubble formation or effervescence. So now, always remember, in performing catalase test, please be mindful, that there is also a false positive reaction occurs. Okay, so now, ano yung mga causes ng false positive reaction? So number one, please take note. Some organism, such as enterococci, so they are able to produce the enzyme peroxidase. Okay? So anong ginagawa ni peroxidase? So they slowly catalyzes the breakdown of hydrogen peroxide. So meaning, if the organism produces the enzyme peroxidase, so sometimes they exhibit a weak positive reaction, no, or weak bubble formation. Okay? So another one is sample contaminated from blood agar. Okay? So now remember na kapag kumuha tayo ng sample sa blood agar, sheep's blood agar, or blood agar plate. So remember, di ba, yung blood agar, naglalagay tayo dyan ng enrichment which is blood. Okay? So now remember hydrogen peroxide. Okay? So ginagamit natin yan panglinis ng sugat. Di ba? Yung tinatawag natin as the agua oxinada. So na kapag si hydrogen peroxide nilagay natin sa blood, what will happen? Nagkakaroon no ng bubble formation. Okay, so meaning in performing catalase tests, no, so never ever get microorganism from blood agar kasi pwede yang mag-exhibit ng false positive reaction. Okay? So next, no, we have the coagulase test. Okay, so coagulase test is used to differentiate Staphylococcus from the coagulase negative Staphylococcus. So coagulase test, we have two types. So we have the slide method and we have the tube method. Okay, slide method and tube method. Okay, so now, okay, so in the slide coagulase test, we're going to check no, the presence of the bound coagulase. While for the tube coagulase, we will be looking no, for the presence of the free coagulase. Okay, so we have the bound coagulase no, or the clumping factor or the free coagulase. Okay, so now, the reagent used in this test no, is rabbit's plasma. Okay, so now, if rabbit's plasma is not available, yes, we can use human plasma provided that the anticoagulant that should be used is EDTA, no plasma from EDTA blood. Okay, so now, so slide method, so ito yung tinatawag natin no, as the screening test. While the tube method, so that is the confirmatory test. Okay, screening test and the confirmatory test. So for the slide method, so very simple lang. So meron tayong glass slide. No, so mag-a-add lang tayo ng 1 drop of rabbit's plasma. Then we're going to emulsify here the microorganism. Then if clot formation occur, okay, so kapag nagkaroon ng clot formation, that is positive for coagulase test. If no clot formation, so that is negative. Okay? So how about for the tube method? So sa tube method naman, so gagamit tayo ng test tube of course, and then we're going to add 0.5 ml of rabbit's plasma. Then after that, no, we're going to get the organism, then emulsify. Then after that, we're going to incubate it at 37 degrees Celsius for 4 hours. No, for 4 hours. But remember, we have to check it every 30 minutes. So, kailangan i-check natin yan every 30 minutes. For example, 10 o'clock, nag-incubate tayo. So, check it by 10:30. So, kapag walang clot formation, incubate ulit. Additional 30 minutes, check it by 11 o'clock. Pag wala pa rin, 11:30, 12:30, until you reach no, the 4 hours. So, now, kasi for example, 10:30 pa lang, nagkaroon na ng clot formation. Okay? So, kapag nagkaroon na ng clot formation, report it as positive. Okay? But again, kapag wala, further incubate until you reach the 4 hours. So now, ma'am, after 4 hours, chinek ko naman every 30 minutes, wala talagang clot formation. What are we going to do? So kapag wala pa rin, what are you going to do is to further incubate at room temperature for 24 hours. Incubate natin at room temperature for 24 hours. So kapag wala talaga, after 24 hours, report it as negative. Okay? So now, in coagulase test, meron din tayong tinatawag ng mga false positive reactions. Okay, so what are the causes of false positive reactions? So number one is the use of citrate. Okay, so that's why if we do not have rabbit's plasma, so ang alternative of choice natin is the EDTA, hindi citrate. Because yung mga citrate-utilizing organisms, so they appear as false positive reaction. Okay, doon sa mga plasma as compared sa mga if we use the EDTA. Okay. So number two, if we get the colonies from high salt media. Okay, ano yung high salt media na yan? Example is mannitol salt agar. Okay, so meaning if we're going to perform coagulase test, never ever get the colonies from mannitol salt agar kasi pwede yung mag-cause ng false positive reactions. Okay? And then number three, some strains of Staphylococcus produces fibrinolysin. Okay, so si fibrinolysin, yan yung nagdi-dissolve ng clot after 4 hours of incubation. And pwede yung mag-appear as negative kapag in-incubate pa natin yan longer than 4 hours. Kaya nga, di ba, in our procedure, you have to check it every 30 minutes. Okay, kasi baka within 30 minutes nag-form na siya ng clot, but because of the enzyme fibrinolysin, ilalyse niya lang ulit yung clot formation. Okay? So next, we have the modified oxidase test. So this is used to differentiate staphylococci from micrococci. So here, in microdase test, the positive result is purple and ang nagpa-positive lang dyan is si micrococci. Then we can also use the oxidation fermentation test. Okay, so in oxidation fermentation test, so meron tayong dalawang tube na ginagamit. So yung isa, okay, naka-overlay yan with mineral oil. Okay, para mag-produce tayo ng anaerobic environment. Okay, and then yung isa naman, open lang siya. So now, if it turns yellow, okay, kapag yung open tube nag-turns to yellow, so that is for oxidation. Kapag naman yung closed tube, nag-form ng yellow, so ibig sabihin, the organism is a fermenter. Okay? So ganun siya ini-interpret. So now, when we talk about staphylococci, okay, so staphylococci are able to ferment glucose. Okay? And micrococci, so hindi sila nagpo-produce ng acid environment. Okay? So additional staphylococci that fail to grow or produce acid anaerobically. So si Saprophyticus, Auricularis, Hominis, Psilosus, and Coni. And then we have the pyrrolidonyl aryl amidase, or what we call as the PYR test. Okay, so this is used to differentiate Staphylococcus aureus from Lugdunensis, Intermedius, and Schleiferii. So itong mga to, these are the examples of coagulase negative staphylococci. Okay, so positive result here is the formation of red color, no, or the red compound. Then we have the Vogts-Proskauer test. So this is also used to differentiate Staphylococcus aureus from Staphylococcus intermedius. Okay, the positive result here is still formation, no, of red color. Okay, so another Vogts-Proskauer positive staphylococci. So we have the Lugdunensis, Hemolyticus, and the Schley-Ferry. Okay, so this table, no, shows the summary, no, of the different tests, no, of the gram-positive or the catalase positive cocci. Okay, so Staphylococcus appear as, again, they are catalase positive, no, and they are microdase, no, or the modified oxidase negative. Okay, so micrococcus, catalase, and microdase positive. So this diagram shows the identification of a gram-positive organism. So sabi natin na lagi tayo mag-i-start with gram-stain, and if it appear as positive cocci, so ano lang yung mga organism na suspected organism natin dyan? It can be staphylococci, it can be micrococci, it can be streptococci, okay, or it can be enterococci. So yan lang, no, yung mga organism natin under gram-positive cocci. So yan lang yung mga medically important organism. So now, if we perform catalase test, so sino lang ba yung nagpa-positive kay catalase? So staphylococci and si micrococci. If catalase negative, so that is streptococci or the enterococci. Okay, so now, in performing the coagulase test, no, kapag coagulase positive, so confirm that is Staphylococcus aureus. If negative, it can be micrococcus or yung cons. Okay, so now to differentiate micrococcus from cons, we will perform the oxidase or the bacitracin susceptibility test. Si bacitracin, ito yung tinatawag natin as the taxo A. So here, we will be using 0.04 micrograms of bacitracin. Okay, so now, susceptible, no, or positive, si micrococcus. Negative or resistant, yung coagulase negative, staphylococcus. So now, to differentiate cons from Staphylococcus saprophyticus, so we will perform the novobiocin susceptibility test. So this can be done with the use of 5 micrograms of novobiocin. Okay, so dito, para magpe-perform lang tayo, no, ng antibiotic susceptibility test, same with the bacitracin test. No? If this is your culture media, no, so mag-i-strict lang tayo dyan ng organism. Okay, so mag-i-strict tayo ng organism. Okay. So after natin mag-strict ng organism, mag-a-add tayo dito, no, ng antibiotic disc. Okay, so pagka-add natin ng antibiotic disc, we're going to incubate it for 18 to 24 hours. Then after that, we will look, no, for the presence of zone of inhibition. Okay, so now, kapag may zone of inhibition, meaning this is susceptible, so that is coagulase negative staphylococcus. If no zone of inhibition, so that is resistant, so that is Staphylococcus saprophyticus.